Hey everyone, welcome back. My name's dustinkreis, and today we are going to do sort of a discussion, or at least I'm going to be discussing something. Big topic, at least in the YouTube sphere, this completely overblown thing about Nintendo being anti-gay. And it is funny how it's become kind of this, this major story, at least from what it seems with me and the people I subscribe to, and certain videos that people have alerted me to. It's really become kind of this big thing, and I was not going to do a video on this, because really I think it's a situation where incidents happened and it's like 30-second soundbite culture just made this huge ordeal out of it. But I got to thinking a bit more and more, especially after I checked out some YouTubers' videos and reading their comment sections and getting very, very depressed about the state of the world. So I figured I'd just make a quick video. I don't know how quick it'll be. And just sort of throw my thoughts, my 2 cents into the arena, as it were. You know, let's go ahead and get my political persuasion out of the way. I am completely 100% behind gay marriage. I have zero skin in the game. I'm not a homosexual. I've been married once, but so the whole idea of marriage being this, you know, upstanding institution doesn't really jive with me. I guess if you want to think of it that way, that's fine. But as I step back and look at it, marriage is a legally binding contract. We could talk about God and love and all that stuff, but really, you are entering a legal contract with somebody, and under, you know, at least U.S. law, we are all guaranteed equal protection under the law. So, the way I look at it is, people should be allowed to marry another consenting adult. That's just the way it should be. You know, you can talk about polygamy, which certain YouTubers did, very crudely. But that kind of skirts the whole legal contract as you're entering multiple people into this benefits thing and blah, 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 blah. But anyway, yeah, I'm completely 100% behind it. I think it's the civil rights issue of my generation. Because when you step back and you look at the history of the civil rights movements in the 50s and 60s, and compare it to now, especially with the hatred that people use to, like, you know, deny people the right to share benefits. I mean, that's really kind of what marriage really is when you kind of remove all the bells and whistles. It's just a legal contract to share benefits and things like that. You know, it really reminds me a lot of reading about the civil rights movements in the 60s. Now, we're not lynching gay people in the trees and everything, but the way people talk, it sounds like they want to. So it's just so bizarre, the hatred that people have for this issue. You know, for me, I always think that love should triumph hate, and if two people love each other, hey, why not let them be together? I don't know. But anyway, yeah, the situation is Nintendo has this game coming out that allows you to get married to another player in it. And one, that's that's a ridiculous thing anyway in of itself, getting married in a video game. I remember reading about people getting married in EverQuest and stuff like that, and I'm just like, come on, go outside and meet somebody. I mean, I guess you're meeting somebody online and stuff like that. Like, I met a lot of people on YouTube this way, talking to them and stuff like that, but come on, you know, it's just like, it's such a weird, bizarre thing to me to have like an online wife or something like that. So, but you could do that in this game if you wanted to. And apparently there was a glitch in the game that allowed 2 characters of the same sex to marry. It caused the game to be unstable, so Nintendo removed it, and one gamer felt that he wasn't being represented by the game anymore and petitioned Nintendo to put that back into the game. And of course, Nintendo released a very blunt and crude statement saying that, you alright, bud? I know, it disgusts me too. I know. a very crude statement, basically saying that it wasn't meant to be in the game. We don't want to make a political statement with the game. It's just a game. Who cares? And that should have been the end of it, really. You know, gamers, there's all these petitions out there all the time for anything ranging from very important topics to just the most asinine thing. I think, you know, the player was well within his rights to petition Nintendo for that. You know, as a gamer, we always like to be represented by the games that we play. But, you know, the blogosphere and the 30-second soundbite culture kind of got a hold of this and blew it up into this huge thing of Nintendo being anti-gay. I don't think they're anti-gay. It's kind of stupid for a corporation nowadays to be anti-gay. Homosexuals are very good at organizing boycotts, and these corporations know that, and they work, you know, whereas some other boycotts out there have not historically worked. The gays and the lesbians can always organize a boycott really well. So, you know, Chick-fil-A and things like that, you know, really, really good at doing that kind of stuff. So corporations are kind of savvy to that, and they don't want to do that. So I don't think publicly, they definitely wouldn't be anti-gay that bluntly. I think it's just the person who answered this petition was not very, how do I put it, just lacked subtlety and doesn't know how to write things in a delicate manner. Because when you talk about these things, you kind of have to talk about them you have to choose your wording very carefully. And I'm sure I'm going to watch this video back, and there's going to be a couple times where I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have said it that way. Because it's really easy in today's culture to twist things and make things sound worse than they are. But yeah, I personally, I don't believe that Nintendo's anti-gay. That's a stupid thing. Maybe they're a little backwards in their thought, and I'm sure, you know, people aren't going to have a hard time believing that Nintendo would be backwards in anything, considering that's all you read about is how Nintendo is backwards and don't know what they're doing and blah, 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 blah. But you see this kind of stuff all the time, because I don't know if it's because corporate culture is just such a blunt, you know, a blunt place to be, but, you know, they just never handle the wording correctly in these things. And I think that's what it was. I think it was just an issue where it wasn't worded properly, and of course, afterwards, Nintendo put out another statement that was worded much, much better. And yeah, that should have been the end of it. It really should have. And, you know, even me making this video about it, I'm kind of buying into this tabloid journalism thing, but I'm tapping into it to try to put an end to it, I guess. I don't know. You'll never put an end to it, but whatever. It's my vein. It's me pissing in the wind and you guys watching it on YouTube. But, and then a very prominent YouTuber made a video about it. And this is where really my depression started coming. Not so much his video, which his video, he's been attacked as, you know, coming out as very anti-gay because of a statement he made. Which, when I think about the statement, I think, well, you know, I understand what he was trying to say, and he just, again, worded it very bluntly and very crudely. And, you know, a slip of the tongue. You know, me sitting here, I have no script for this. Absolutely none. I'm just sitting here kind of rambling off the top of my head and talking about this, and it's very easy to slip your tongue. Especially if maybe, you know, you have that, I don't want to say he's anti-gay, but I do think that maybe it makes him feel a little icky inside. And that ickiness, you know, comes out and he just vomits words. But the thing of it is, his video had very clear edits in it. He definitely edited stuff out, which we could all say, well, what was that? Was it worse? Was that worse? But he didn't edit out certain statements, like comparing gay marriage to polygamy, and what was even worse, which he compared gay marriage to bestiality. And I'm sorry, if I ever made that slip of the tongue and I'm watching my video back, editing it, I'd go, probably should not have left that in there. Because even if that's the point you legitimately want to make, when you're trying to argue a point and you use bestiality and compare it to homosexuality, you instantly lose the argument because you sound like a fucking idiot. There's a big difference between two consenting adults of the same sex wanting to enter a relationship together than me taking Duncan out back and having my way with him. There's a big difference there. I'm sorry, there is. And it just makes you look like an absolute moron. So there's my thoughts on that. But that was kind of, you know, whatever. I have a problem with this YouTuber anyway. So it's not a big deal, you know. But then, man, I started looking in his comment section on this video, and I felt like I was in a goddamn Fred Phelps, like, theme park. I mean, I hate faggots. Let's kill the faggots. You know, faggot, 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 faggot. Gays are vulgar. You know, it's a horrible lifestyle. Blah, blah, blah. And I just like, if I was this YouTuber and I looked at those responses down below, I'd been like, no. This is not what I want. I don't want this kind of discussion on my video. And I'd probably take the video down because, or at least start deleting out some of that horrible shit. Because I don't want that shit associated with my videos, okay? You know, if I get trolled, I read it, I see if I get any legitimate feedback, and then if I, you know, feel like I'm getting no legitimate feedback, I will delete your fucking comment. That's the end of it, because fuck off, I don't care. But just reading this stuff, it made me feel really just like, oh my god, maybe the human race isn't as forward-thinking as I'd like to believe. Maybe we really are just a bunch of savages going around making everyone else's lives miserable. Because I don't see why there has to be this much hate. I don't understand it. It doesn't compute in my brain. Because these people doing what they're doing, wanting to have marriage and relationships and blah, 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 be accepted by the, you know, the community at large, it does nothing to hurt anybody else. It's not affecting you. If these two people want to live together and raise a family, it doesn't affect you. It doesn't hurt you in any way. So why do you feel with such hate for this? Except that, you know, there's this kind of machismo idea out there of men don't want to be confused for being gay, and ooh, it makes me feel icky inside. Ooh, God, they're kissing. Ooh, you know? It's just an incredibly strange thing for me. And I feel like in the gaming culture, we should be better about this. Because, especially if you're of my generation, growing up in the NES and the Super NES era, you did not talk about being a video game player. You were a closeted video game player. There was a stigma involved with being a video game player. And we were stigmatized back in the day. You had to keep that shit secret or you would get beat up because you were a nerd. And all you little fucking bastards out there that do this shit, we paved the fucking way for you, okay? You're allowed to run around wearing your Call of Duty t-shirts and, you know, pissing on little kids and teabagging them because we paved the fucking way for you, okay? So listen to some elder statesmen here on this issue. Stop being fucking pricks and stop with all the hate. It's ridiculous. I remember when Mass Effect 3 came out, and of course Mass Effect 3, you can involve your main character in a homosexual relationship. And not, I mean, you could do it earlier with, oh shoot, what's her name? She was in Asari. I can't remember her name now, but, you know, the lady, Asari, even though they're kind of hermaphrodites, I guess, you could have a homosexual relationship with her if you were a female character. Or femship, I should say. But it wasn't until 3 where you could enter male-on-male relationships. And people went fucking nuts. You would have thought that the game was completely ruined for these idiots because you had the option of doing this. And I didn't understand it then. I don't understand it now. I don't really know what else to say. Guys, be better to each other out there. Life is too short for this much hate. It's too short. There's nothing hurting you. Let them have their fun. If they want to get married in a game, let them. You know, if they want to get married in real life, let them. It doesn't affect you. So that's my thoughts on this situation. Do I think Nintendo's anti-gay? No. I think they handled the situation kind of poorly, and then they did a better job the second time around. Do I think certain YouTubers out there are anti-gay? No, but I think they might have icky feelings inside and they just kind of vomit them out on their videos. Do I think the comments... Man, those comment sections, even on Steph's Too Deaf's video, which I wouldn't think Steph's Too Deaf would have these kind of people in her audience. It was just like, oh my god, how do you fucking sleep at night with this much hate boiling in you? It's just bizarre, man. Just fucking bizarre. We should be better about this because at one point in time we were stigmatized for being gamers. And all you little shitheads out there, you're able to do this horrible, horrible shit because of us. Because we paved the way for it to be accepted to be a video gamer and the culture at large. And this is what you do with that freedom. This is what you choose to do with that freedom. Fuck off. Alright, I'm getting more angry thinking about it. I'm going to go out, crack a beer, and play some Valkyria Chronicles. But, I don't know, for some reason, I had to make the video more because of what I saw happen in the community. And I swear to fucking God, if I ever... Oh! And there's an edit. Yes, I went off on a terrible, terrible tirade against all you little shitheads out there who like to get on the old interwebs and just, you know, anonymously flame people and do that kind of shit. So I edited it out. Actually, no. Always remember to clean off your iPad before you sit down to shoot a new video. But yeah, you know, I just felt like I had to make this video because I'm disgusted with a lot of things. I'm disgusted. I was initially disgusted with this YouTuber's original video. I was disgusted with his comment section that he didn't clean that shit out. And I was disgusted with the community at large. Not so much this little corner of it. I think in the AGP community, I think we are very good and tolerant people. But out there in the bigger communities at large, it's really kind of an ugly scene. Really an ugly scene. And I don't want to see this. I never want to see a comment like this. I feel like a parent now. Holy shit. I feel like a parent. Young man, I don't ever want to see that kind of a comment on an AGP related video. But I really don't. I really think our little corner of the community here is a very good corner. I think that's why a lot of people have migrated to this corner. Is that, you know, the big areas out there get too filled up with the quote unquote riffraff, and we have to come over here. At least that's how I feel anyway. I have to come over here and breathe a sigh of relief. But yeah, that's the video. Hopefully, you know, I watched it back. When I saw it, it stopped recording. I watched it back and no real gaffes. Just some, you know, losing my place and things like that. But yeah, guys, this is just kind of a plea. Be good to each other out there. And if you have this horrible hatred in you like this, try to figure out why. Figure out the reason why. Why do you hate gay people so much? What is it about them that make? Well, I don't know. They're just faggots, man. That's not a reason. That's something within you that you need to deal with. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but I just want it to stop. I wish it would stop. It's so. God, it's so 1970s. Oh, we hate the gays. Oh, well, we haven't done that before. Oh, boy. It's 2014. Grow up. Alright, I'm done. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Take care. I'll see you next time.